I think he was the first person. We had great directors like Mehboob, like Bimal Roy, like other directors before them also in new theatre. But Guru Dutt was the first person who spoke through visuals. So that is the first thing. The other people were good directors, took good performances, shot at right location, create the right ambience in the picture, and so on, and well-written films. But talking through the visual was taught to us by Guru Dutt.
Please.
Oh, okay. Um, of course, I've heard of Guru Dutt. I've seen bits. I think I remember seeing his film long back. But I mean, for me, Hindi cinema began with Bachchan. And Javed Saab was the one who actually pushed me to discover Dilip Kumar also, her terms. Because then I discovered a lot of it very late. And Guru Dutt, actually, a very strange kind of a thing happened. One day at FTI, they were doing a homage to Guru Dutt, and I think his family was coming, some people from his family, and they wanted me to kind of talk of Guru Dutt. I said, why me? I don't know anything about Guru Dutt. Then he said, no, I think they'd like you to speak. So in that 2 weeks, I watched everything that Guru Dutt had made, acted in, his documentaries, everything written about him, and I saw all his movies, and I was just stunned. Okay, and I couldn't finally end up. The day before that, some very big personal emergency happened, so I couldn't end up going there. But that repository of emotion that was in me actually stunned me because I couldn't explain it. I've never felt so happy feeling sad. You know, it was so moving, and I was cherishing and loving that sorrow inside me. And when I was writing Chup, then I suddenly discovered what I used the things that I had learned, that I had watched and prepared for this thing. I had said, this is actually a note to an artist like that. What if Guru Dutt was just one neuron went the other way? What would he be? And that's how I actually discovered Guru Dutt very, very late in life.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, Balki sir, for sharing. Sudhir sir, I wonder if you have your lapel on. Could you see? I think you need that.
Yeah. It's weird to talk about this young man called Guru Dutt since we've now become older. We are all older than Guru Dutt, which is fascinating, you know. Because I grew up, I mean, as we have grown up in cinema, he stayed there, and here I am, 65 years old, and, you know, I can finally say Guru, you know, my friend, right? So it's beautiful, and he's never left me, so I don't know where I first saw Guru Dutt as a 12-year-old with my grandmother, who very identified with Meena Kumari because my grandfather had also left her. So in this Lucknow large house, she went to Sahab Bibi Ghulam often, and when I sort of was of an age where she could take me, I saw that film about 6 or 7 times with her because there were re-releases. The film used to release, so those visuals, if there's one film that I couldn't take with me home to a desert island, it would be Sahab Bibi Ghulam. So it's a stunning film in many ways. And what is astounding about Guru Dutt, I mean, like people say, I mean, like Balki said, you feel sad, but you feel kind of strangely happy feeling sad. Because Guru Dutt opens up so many, he's an experience. Guru Dutt is an experience. You can see him again and again at different, like a great poem. You can watch Guru Dutt at 22 and it means something else. You see him. So as I have seen Guru Dutt every time, and I keep revisiting him, there is nothing that I have done in my life that is not influenced by him. Wow. Nothing. And I haven't measured up to him, that's another story. That's another story. I've been trying to. But, you know, every film that I have done, every shot that I have taken, Every scene that I have written, every song that I have tried to picturize, you cannot imagine, I mean, I can't imagine it without Gurudutt. He has taught us how to make films. He has taught us how to see a scene. He has told us how to take that blueprint, which is the script, and then rewrite it on film. He has taught us rhythm. If you see Pyasa, you'll see it today. There is a shot in which Wahidur Rahman walks towards the camera. And I remember seeing this with Javed Saab. And there are 3 cuts on the same axis, which is totally wrong. But she's walking forward towards the camera and he's cutting forward. And it creates an impact which is magical. He does things because I think he's inventing what he's doing. He's not taught. He's a choreographer. He's 22, 23 years old. He's watching lots of Western films also. He's seeing German cinema. And I don't think you can talk about Gurudutt without V.K. Murthy.
Of course, absolutely.
So, I mean, if you talk about Gurudutt, then you have to clap for Mr. Murthy, right? So, but together with Mr. Murthy, he does some things which are amazing, you know. And the women, that burst, the sensuality bursting out of each character. That young Wahidur Rahman feeling something in Sahib Bibi Ghulam, the widow or the housewife in the trapped Meena Kumari, all that feeling that comes out in, you know, the actress, you know, with her ambition and giving respect to that ambition in Kagaz Ke Phool. She's not some vamp. बिछड़े तो सभी तो बारी बारी बिछड़े लेकिन कोई वजह थी. He's not I mean, he's not a cheap filmmaker, therefore he doesn't bring down another character in order to raise another one. If you see that, that's the cheapest scriptwriting trick. No, you can drop somebody in order to raise someone. But all the characters, you know, all the characters rise in his films. You know, they are there and it creates a tapestry. So that's what he's taught us. You know, I mean, I could talk for
Thank you, Sudhir
hours,
sir. No, we want that, of course. Hansal Sahab, thank you so much for joining us. You know, I just have to let a cat and the pigeons in. Please.
No, I grew up knowing about him because my closest friend was his nephew. So we were in school from kindergarten until engineering college. We were together, we shared a room. So I used to hear stories about his uncle. So he was Mr. Devidutt's son, Sanjay. So he's one of my closest friends even now. We were school, college, we studied together. And I discovered his films much later. I used to hear about him as Sanjay's uncle. He had passed away much before we were born. But I watched, Pyasa is the first film I saw, and it has left a lasting impression on me. So when I became a filmmaker, Pyasa has been like a primer. It also, I mean, more than the number of films I've made, I think I've had more heartbreak than the number of films I've made. Heartbreak in love. And, you know, every time Gurudutt has taught me that, pitting oneself can actually be beautiful. And I suddenly began to think of self-sympathy as a virtue, as something that I should celebrate. And that heartbreak is actually, very, very cinematic. And that I wish I can make a film that talks about heartbreak and love one day, just to pay tribute to the person who's influenced me. The first time I shot on film was in 1994 in FTI. I did not know anything. It was like fully plagiarized song sequence from Kagaz Ke Phool. The light passing down, an arc light from the roof. Same, we tried to replicate the same thing and do it in color. It was the most vulgar replication of Kagaz Ke Phool. And fortunately, those negatives are destroyed. That music video is with Z Music, who doesn't give a damn, and I'm so happy that it's over, and I will make a better tribute to him someday.
Well, thank you so much, Hansel, for sharing. That's so lovely. Bhavna ji, and forgive me because I have quite a task here. I have to have everybody say enough. But I'm going to ask you, because what Sudhir sir said was so amazing, I think, because here we are, we're two women. And I loved what you said about the fact that his women were so powerful. They had agency and they had jobs more than anything else. Thank you very much. There was an era of cinema जहाँ पर वो सिर्फ पापा की परी ही बन के रह गई थी. But during that time, which is the 50s, when he was making these films, in his first film, his lead actress was a doctor. And I felt that that was so respectful. And it's also about the time, because at that time, they looked at women differently. So could you take a few minutes, maybe a couple of you, to talk about how that was also an important part of his filmmaking, that he was not just making films, he was also showing up a mirror to society and asking us to be better. Bhavna ji.
Somehow I don't look at it like that. I just felt that when I went to watch his movies, I was seduced by the frames, the aesthetics, even his poetry, the morality, the characterizations, and the roles the women played. And there are absolutely marvelous women characters in his films, and so many of them are my favorites. I love Gulabo in Pyasa, and I have a very beautiful memory associated with Gulabo, because when I interviewed Wahida Rahman for my book Mother, Maiden, Mistress, she explained to me that when she had to, because I love the song Jaane Kya Tune Kahi. So I said, Wahida ji, aap itne khubsurat lag rahe ho us gaane mein, तो आपको क्या ब्रीफ दी थी गुरुदत्त साहब ने? तो उन्होंने कहा कि मैं 16 साल की थी और मुझे मालूम नहीं था कि स्ट्रीट वॉकर क्या होता है, और गुरुदत्त साहब को थोड़ा सा ऑकवर्ड लग रहा था कि हाउ डज ही एक्सप्लेन टू हर. सो ही टोल्ड वहीदा जी's mother that please explain to her that she is playing this character. So after a while, when he got back to the set and he asked the mother that, did you tell her? And she said, no, I didn't know how to do it. So Gurudutt sir said to Wahida ji that you will walk a few steps aage, then you will turn back, look at the camera, smile, and then again walk 3 steps ahead. And he showed it to her and he said, but don't do it like me, you do it like yourself. And I think she's so ethereal when she does that. Another favorite of mine is Sahib Biwi Aur Gulam mein, of course, the Choti Bahu. I would not like to classify her that she's a homemaker or whether she's regressive or what she, all that politics I don't want to get into at the moment. I just feel she's so wonderful. She has an equation with this Gulam. He's her friend. She seeks him out when she is in trouble. And my favorite song in the film is not Najao Saiya, of course, but Piya Aisa Jiya Mein Samaye Gayo Re. Because it is all about the Shringar Rasa. And we have seen many songs about seduction, whether the vamp does it or the heroine does it. But very few songs have been about Shringar Rasa and the whole dressing up for the man who is going to come and who is a beloved and waiting for it. And finally, she's just so wonderful. I love this song and I love everything. So there are many more characters, but I would like to give others a chance.
Any gentleman on the panel would like to take that?
Gurudutt doesn't see women in a condescending way at all, I think. Marquez once said the trick to understanding women is to know that they are as capable of betrayal as you are. I think Gurudutt instinctively understands that. He delves into psyches, into characters, they become metaphors. So, I identify with Meena Kumari in many other ways, when I see her not just as anyone trapped in a situation not of their own making. It's of wanting to get out, of being in an oppressive, so it becomes even a metaphor for an oppressive. That's the great thing about great cinema, no, or great poetry. It arouses things not directly in you, but many things, you know. So I don't know. I mean, it's a women. All his characters, including his women. I mean, Rahman, for example, there's a counterpoint from Sahabibi Ghulam. You see Meena Kumari, but you also see Rahman. But you don't despise him. He's equally trapped in whoever he is, his being, his feudalism, his ideas. Because after all, we are all accidents. And I think Guru Dutt also instinctively, people trapped in this world, like, you know, so he's looking at them, different people, you know, and their predicaments, you know, and out of that, but there is a story and they are in conflict, and they must be in conflict, and he has to be in someone's side. So he's on the side of the marginalized, the poet. He's on the side of it's not that he's neutral in a sense. Just because he can understand the other doesn't mean he's neutral. But he's, in a sense, the world is so beautifully described that then that predicament becomes even more, you know, it's very deep, the what he arouses in you, in a sense, and it's an experience you can't intellectualize. I don't think you should intellectualize Guru Dutt that much.
Well, thank you
He's
so
an
much,
experience,
yes.
and he's only possible in cinema.
Absolutely.
Guru Dutt is the one, you have to experience Guru Dutt.
I agree with you. And if you are at this point somebody in this hall who hasn't yet, then this is going to be amazing for you because all these films are going to be in the theater this weekend. Javed Sahab, I've always wanted to ask you this, and I'm so happy we're doing this today. You know, way back in the 50s, he was able to make a film or have a character that was a poet. And just to show us, you know, the trappings of being a poet, aaj ke zamane mein, and I'm going to contextualize it, I don't know if we're brave enough to have a lead character be the poet and then have all of these inner workings of his mind actually play out on the big screen. What was that for you like? And did that poet ever influence you or your poetry?
Well, that poet was Sahir, the songs, and they were a very important part of the film. But let me go back a little what we were talking about. You know what happens? That there are certain things which are not done in art on conscious level, and they should not be done. Good art doesn't happen only on conscious level. It is an exercise in paradox. You see, any art, whether it is filmmaking, whether it's poetry, whether music, whether writing a short story, novel, whatever, or a symphony. On one hand, you need passion, imagination, fantasy, romance. On the other hand, you need something which is totally contrary, which moves exactly in the opposite direction, that is craft, which is calculated, which is mathematical, which is surgical. And you use both the things together. It's a paradox. Art is created in this paradox. So many times things happen, things are written, poems are written, novels are written, films are made, and then when people see that, they say, he empowered women. He had a soft corner for the poor people. You see, he was broad-minded enough to stand up for people who have different sexual inclinations, and blah, blah, blah. But the fact is that the filmmaker had not made this on the conscious level. It is deep somewhere in his subconscious, his sense of morality, his sense of aesthetics, his sense of decency, his sense of justice, which works. If you do it on conscious level, it will be propaganda. You will know that this is a theory, not the feeling. This is calculated. You are making a statement. Art should not make a statement. The reader or the listener should find the statement in it. Nice. Artist should not do it. Artist should do what he feels or she feels is right. And this work is created not on conscious level totally. Like countries, there is a no man's land between the conscious mind and subconscious mind. Ultimately, good art is created at that no man's land. When he was making films, He was not conscious, I'm sure, and it shows that now I am empowering this character. Now she should have dignity. No, it was coming naturally because that was his aesthetics, that was his sense of decency, that was his sense of morality. On unconscious level, we have experienced this in our limited, humble career, that people say, you know, that angry young man was the voice of that. We had no idea. We had no idea that this angry young man that we are writing in early 70s had anything to do with the emergency or people's lack of confidence or institutions, and that is why this vigilante is appearing in a script. No, we were just writing a script. And I'm happy that we did not know. And I hope that Gurudutt also did not know many things which we see in his films. Because if you know, then you are looking at the society and the audience from outside. If you don't know and you are breathing the same air, your aesthetics, your feeling is in sync with the society in which you are living. And that is better, that is advisable. That if we know, then we are relying more on our craft. We don't know our fantasies, and that is how it ought to be. Another thing I would like to say, you see, nowadays we go to New Zealand, we go to Swaziland, we go to Switzerland for good locations, good sets, good costumes. Gurudutt was not dependent on that. The beauty in his case lied his own eyes. I'll give you an example. Now look at this theatre. It's not a very cinematic place. I mean, if you want to picturize a song which is 6-7 minutes long, this is the last place you should shoot that song. But Gurudutt saw a lot of visual in this auditorium. ये दुनिया अगर मिल भी जाए तो क्या है? Is a long song with almost similar stanzas after stanzas and after stanzas. And it's shot in auditorium. From there, he's standing crucified at the door. And then he enters. And the breaks are not in the set, but in the lighting. How he could shoot a song which we'll never forget on a bed. Na jao saiyan chupa chura ke bhaiya. 90% song was on the bed. And ultimately, Meena Kumari was graceful enough to get off the bed. That's all. That's all. And it is one of the finest picturized songs. So we lack somewhere inside, we try to find outside. Gurudutt was not dependent on locations ever. Gurudutt's visual, his frame used to make the location. Name any other director, even today, who can do that. He has taught us so much that we will take generations to learn that. There is no doubt about it. I mean, his songs, ये दुनिया अगर मिल भी जाए तो क्या, जिन्हें नाज है हिंद पर वो कहाँ है, they are not great melodies, they are straight songs. And each of these songs had at least 6 or 7 stanzas. Can you imagine holding a song with a kind of monotony in the tune, if I may say so? Perhaps I am not finding the better word because of my modest English, but the fact is that it is not a great musical item. How it is holding? It is holding because the director is feeling the song. He is making the song as a part of your conscience. I have not seen many people doing that. He was really unusual. He was still, we are talking about, I mean, I'm feeling like some kind of an old historical relic here, because, I mean, somebody tells me that he discovered Dilip Kumar because of me, and then I come to know.
I discovered because it's not alive.
But now you have discovered Gurudutt, you have discovered Dilip Kumar, you must go to USA also. So,
Where must I go?
USA, but they discovered that also. So, the fact is that the technology has reached from somewhere to somewhere. No need to go into details. Technique, technical facilities, special effects, and at the same time we are miles and miles behind him. I mean, when will we reach somewhere near him? I don't know.
Thank you, Javed Saab. Thank you so much.
I just wanted to add to what Javed Saab said. You know, Guru Dutt's films, remarkably, the principal performances were never great. Like Guru Dutt himself, I don't think, this is my personal unpopular opinion, not a great actor. But the craft, the overall cinema of that moment was stronger. It was not dependent on that one central performance. It was all the elements of cinema coming together, lighting, framing, the way scenes were staged. That entire, so when you talk about craft, we often say, "Kyare, performance acha nahi hai." You don't notice that because the cinematic experience itself is so powerful that it overpowers his own inadequacy as an actor. So you remember that frame. ये दुनिया अगर मिल भी जाए तो क्या है, standing like Jesus Christ. But I mean, as an actor, I found him fairly blank. If I look at him, I don't need to, because everything else in that is so complete.
Sir, now I'm taking advantage of my age because I know many more things. Guru Dutt, when the script of Pyasa was written, although I have not met him, but I knew many people who were very close to him, like Abrar Alvi, like Sahir Saab, like Kafi Saab, who wrote for. So I know many incidents. And Guru Dutt's studio and Kamal's studio were in the same compound. And I have slept in Kamal's studio for 2-3 years. So people who were working with Guru Dutt, I knew them, their team and everybody. Besides that, people who were senior assistants of Kamal Lori, they also knew Guru Dutt very well. So I had many sources to know about him, and I was interested in him. When Pyasa's script was written, Guru Dutt went to Dilip Saab. And he said, "This is the script, I want you to play this role." Dilip Saab heard the script and he said, "Now, you see, I have recently worked in a film which has same kind of a triangle, Chandramukhi and Paru and Devdas. So it's almost similar triangle, so it will look very similar." And refused. He went back. He cast himself. He made 7 reels of that film and then went back to Dilip Kumar. And he said, "You see these 7 reels, this role belongs to you. Because you said no, I did it, but even now, when you are looking at these 7 reels, if you feel, I'll scrap this and we'll make it again." Dilip Saab said, "But no, it is not practical because अभी मेरा तो प्राइस अलग होता है, तो अब उसमें कैसे आप एडजस्ट करेंगे?" He said, "That's not the problem. मैंने अपने को भी कास्ट करके जितने में बेचा उसमें आपका प्राइस आ जाएगा, वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, but I genuinely feel that it is your role." But he did not do it. And Dilip Saab once told me that he repents 2-3 films that he refused. Baiju Babra was offered to him and he did not do it because perhaps he could not understand the intensity, and Pyasa. And third, I'm very shyly saying Zanjeer.
Sorry, I'm just going to take a second and मुझे ताज्जुब हो रहा है इस वक्त के वहाँ पर इससे ज़्यादा दिलचस्प क्या ही बातें हो सकती हैं. तो मेरी ये दरख्वास्त होगी कि जहाँ से whispers आ रही हैं, थोड़ा सा इज्जत हमें नवाजें प्लीज, बिकॉज आई एम श्योर योर कॉन्वर्जेशन इज नॉट एज इंटरेस्टिंग एज आवर कॉन्वर्जेशन. ये बात मैं आपको कह सकती हूँ गारंटी से. बाद में इत्मीनान से बातें कीजिएगा. हम जोर से बोले. एक्चुअली अगर थोड़ी सी फुसफुसाहट कम हो जाएगी तो मे बी यू लिसन टू अस. कैन यू हियर अस गाइस? दिस रो. सॉरी सर, यू कैन हियर अस?
So volume, maybe it was my mistake. I kept.
थोड़ा सा वो माइक नीचे था.
But don't worry, you have not missed much.
Yes, thank you so much. Back to you, Balki sir. I want to ask you one thing. You know, in Chup, you talk about how the burden of criticism destroys Guru Dutt. I often wondered after watching your film that if Guru Dutt was here today, और वो आज की क्रिटिसिज्म देखते तो क्या वो इस दौर को सरवाइव कर पाते? तो मुझे आपसे पूछना है कि क्या ये ख्याल जो है, did it cross your mind when you were writing that film?
Yeah, actually, many things crossed my mind besides that. To me, actually, Gurudutt, we live in an era where resilience is more celebrated than sensitivity. I always find we talk of the resilient and not the sensitive. And the gap between the two, with a bit of human effort, is a lot of luck. Sensitivity can become resilience with a little bit of luck. But sensitivity, if not supported by that luck, goes down a hell of a lot. And as artists, as the most sensitive artists, it is very surprising how the most sensitive, all of us have gone through that stuff, we pick that out. We love to celebrate a person who's fallen and come up. We never love to celebrate a person who's fallen and the sensitivity behind that fall. And Gurudutt to me is an epitome of sensitivity. I don't want to talk about his films because I'm not qualified to talk about the craft of any other person in the world because I've just made a film, Killing Critics, so I can't be one. But the fact of the matter is, to me as an artist, he inspires me to be actually, to just remember that sensitivity. It's very important sometimes to feel vulnerable, sometimes to kind of not be understood by many people, but you just know what you're doing. You just go on. Today the pressure is a lot more on artists to kind of conform, to kind of do this, to look at these forces, look at that forces, because there are 1,000 people coming and telling you what you're doing is stupid. Okay, everybody's telling me. Now I'll give you a small thing which Madhu Mantena had put up yesterday, and I think it's one of the most beautiful things that I have read. This is something very true for all of us artists, and it's quite beautiful. Why? He says, let us always remember that a truly creative mind, abnormally, even inhumanly sensitive. To them, a touch is a blow, a sound is a noise, a misfortune is a tragedy, a joy is ecstasy, and failure feels like death. Add to this the strange, unknown inward urgency to pour out creation, because they are not truly alive unless they're creating. Thing for all artists. And that's all an artist is. Everything else just happens to that person. And for Gurudutt, it did happen a lot of times. It didn't happen once. And that once, actually, nobody can understand, nobody can explain that. But that one would have hurt so much. And that hurt is very beautiful because for an artist like me, I actually celebrate that hurt. I actually want to just hold on to that stuff. And that's all I did in Chup. I just said, what if today he didn't go deep into himself and kind of destroy himself, but instead decided to kind of destroy somebody else who'd caused him that hurt. An artist can also do that. Why can't he do that? So to me, Gurudutt is an inspirational artist. The heart of Gurudutt is what I love. I mean, it's all over his films, but more I watch his films, I always look at that vulnerability of the filmmaker. I never look at craft in a film. I always look at the feel in a film, and I just don't want to process it, don't want to add words to it, but I just want to feel that vulnerable feeling of a person who's trying to kind of just pour out his heart.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for sharing. Javed Saab.
I'll say that Gurudutt ji was like a hero of a Shakespearean tragedy. In all the tragedies of Shakespeare, have a hero who is perfect, who is exceptional, who is talented, who is victorious, he does everything fine. He has one weakness. In case of one, it was indecision, to be or not to be. In case of some Macbeth, it is ambition. In case of anybody, there is always one weakness. Othello, suspicion. Gurudutt, in spite of such exceptional talent, why he had low self-esteem, I have no idea. I have not met him, or even if I would have met him, I'm not a psychoanalyst. One failure, and he never directed a film. Of course he did. You can see his signature on the frames. I don't want to name the people who got the credit for it. But you could see that nobody else could shoot this scene or this song the way he did. It was, he had his signature on every frame, but never dared to give his name. This is something which is, I mean, only aroused some kind of sympathy in me. He was an exceptionally talented man. One should have seen him with more confidence. Failure is not the end of the world. ठीक है, हो जाता है. और कमाल ये है कि the film that made him stop writing, directing films or giving his name, today the film is considered a classic. Look at that. So अब वो एक weakness थी, उसको हम बहुत glamorize भी नहीं कर सकते, and there is no need to glamorize it. So nobody is perfect. He was not perfect. He couldn't make up his mind in many things. साहिर साहब उनके बड़े करीब के दोस्त थे. उन्होंने कहा कि तुम्हें एक को तो छोड़ना ही पड़ेगा, और अगर तुम इसे भी नहीं छोड़ सकते, उसे भी नहीं छोड़ सकते, तो मैं बताता हूँ क्या होगा, दोनों तुम्हें छोड़ देंगे. और ऐसा ही हुआ. तो कुछ डिसीजंस करेज से लेने पड़ते हैं, सोचना पड़ता है. वो उनमें कमी थी, and he paid very heavily for that.
I just want to add one thing to what Javed Saab said. I really believe that, sometimes this coming of a person, which is there, is so pure. It's not seen a lot. A lot of people find solutions. And we always say, wish he was like this, wish he could have had this strength, wish he could have. I mean, I don't know whether it's cruel or whether it's beautiful, but I'm very thrilled that he didn't have that strength. Because it just gave that feeling of, it just preserves the, almost like, he's a flower, he's just like that, he's just sensitive, just lying there. There is no defense mechanism, there is no thought, there is no mind, there is no mechanics to kind of strengthen yourself. He's just purely as an artist. I know it's very poetic, but some minds like that, the greatest artists have been like that. A lot of great artists have been like that. And we have one in our midst.
Great artists don't know that they're great artists.
Absolutely. And we have to...
Talent is not a blessing, it's a curse.
Absolutely agree. It's not even a curse.
You have talent, and it kind of eats you up. You are compelled, he's compelled to make films or write. Or Ghalib Saab goes from Delhi to Calcutta in order to increase his wazifa because he wants to stay alive. Often people say that artists compromise. There's this whole statement, and once you meet your heroes, you are often disappointed. But that hero is trying to keep that talent burning. And he needs, I think Gurudutt, one has heard stories, he's dropped as many films as he has made. They say he made 2 reels. I'm not sure, I've heard many stories, right? That he did what he did. But he's a man in search. And the way of making films at that time was different, right? What made Vijay Anand at the end of his life make a terrible film? Because the methodology, the whole system changes. They were used to making films in a certain way, and Gurudutt could only do what he did in the way that he could. There is no other way. So, and I think it was a blessing for him that Dilip Saab said no. If he was working with somebody as strong as Dilip Kumar, then Pyasa would not have been the film poetically that it was, right? I think, I'm not sure. So I think he could do what he could keep himself in the background. He could put himself on the door. He could take a back shot, and he could follow his instinct, because talent is kind of instinctual. It's not, ऐसा कुछ ख्याल में कुछ सोच समझ के इतना कुछ rhythm उनके अंदर थी. He's also a choreographer. Remember where he begins? He begins as a choreographer. It's an instinct. So therefore, Uday Shankar's group. He understands music. He understands rhythm.
Yeah.
So he's treating almost all his scenes like music. He walks into the room. You see Meena Kumaari from a distance, then you track in. It's almost like a rhythmic scene. See it again and again. It's a rhythm. He's creating a feeling all the time. What the feeling that he gets as he enters that scene, he's trying to figure this out, and that's the beauty of him. And I think it's only possible in that non-corporate world at that time where a man could be mad. He could drop everything. I'm told that he came and shot. I mean, these are legends. There are many legends about him. Half the legends must not be true. But there are the stories that he came not very, quite inebriated into the shoot when the song that Jalsa was describing, the one on the bed, right? And he reshot the whole thing in one single night. So something came upon him, but this is in some days, in some logic or some power structures, it's only because he was, remember, Gurudutt is not a poet with a phatak kurta. He's a studio owner. Every film that he made is a hit, except one. So I agree with Jalsa. Why did he, that one failure, what happened? I don't know, because everything is a success. Right?
I must tell you a little story about Pyasa, which we are going to see today. It was not a first day hit. When the picture was released, people were highly disappointed. The premium, and they were showing their sympathy that it was a good effort. And Gurudutt in interval did not go in. He sat on the staircase of the theatre, and somebody came and sat with him, his friend, his group. And thank you. And Gurudutt said, "Yaar, mujhe phir ek aar-paar banani padegi." The picture, that time the picture never used to have all India releases. So they would release the picture in Bombay, then after 1 week in Delhi, and so on and so forth, because the prints were very expensive. A director who himself had never made a successful film, his name was Gajanan Jagirdar. Third day he went to his office, Gajanan Jagirdar, and he said, "Gurudutt, you have made a major mistake. You have put the interval at the wrong place. You change the interval and it will be a better narrative." Gurudutt heard that, and he did so.
Whoa.
And he changed the film. So, अजीब बातें होती है. Besides that, when he was saying that मुझे फिर आर पार बनानी पड़ेगी, look at the range of the man. When we talk of Gurudutt, we only mention Sahab Bibi or Ghulam, Pyasa, or no, you don't mention that. Actually, we tend to forget very light-hearted, interesting, sweet films like Mrs. 55, Aar Paar. Jal was a film much beyond its time. Even today, if a director makes or some production house makes Jal, I'll be pleasantly surprised. In Jal, throughout the film, the hero is a cold-blooded villain. Cold-blooded villain. He is using girls. He used Purnima for his smuggling purpose, and then he used Geeta Bali, and then in the climax of the film, he had the choice whether to take away the gold or the girl. He chooses gold and leaves the girl behind. And then he runs, and the police is after them, and he is sitting at the top of a hill, and the police is down there. He's sitting with a gun and gold. And the girl breaks the cordon and starts walking up. And police tries to stop him. You know, he's unscrupulous, he's ruthless, he'll kill you. And from there he's shouting, don't come, I'll shoot you, I'll kill you. And she keeps walking and takes the gun from his hand. He's arrested, that's the end of the film. That there is first ray of goodness in a totally cold-blooded, exploitative man. That is the end of the film. That he could not shoot the girl while he was using her, but somewhere there was some emotion, some feeling risen in him. आज भी ये पिक्चर बनाना मुश्किल है, मगर वो कामयाब पिक्चर थी उस वक्त 50s में, अर्ली 50s में. उसकी आर पार आप देखिए, एक गाना है, हम लोग हमेशा बात करते हैं वो दुनिया मिल जाए तो क्या जाने वो कैसे लोग थे इनके, उसमें आर पार में गाना सुन 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 जालिमा. Now the whole song is between, it's a duet between Shyama and Guru Dutt and a car in the workshop. The song is picturized in the workshop, and it is only that car, broken car, which is creating new frames and new visual, and the whole song is around, above, inside that car. And you must see that, how wonderfully it is picturized in a workshop. So, on other hand, while on one side he was so sensitive, he had such gravitas, he could be a light-hearted person. First of all, बहुत कम लोग होते हैं जिनमें ये रेंज होता है कि वो light-hearted भी हो जाएं और philosophical भी हो सकें. उसकी जो पिक्चर्स हैं ऐसी, वो कमाल, वो भी इक्वली बने. वो अच्छा जी मैं हारी चलो मान जाओ, the whole song is picturized in the car. ये वो गाना जो है, इधर तुम हंसी हो उधर मैं जवां हूँ, उधर तुम जवां हो, ये रंगीन रातों की एक दास्तां है. वो आप देखिए, वो बैल्कनी और नीचे कैसे पिक्चराइज किया है. तो ये जो स्पार्क है, और हम उन्हें भूल जाते हैं, बिकॉज हम लोग भी ज़रा थोड़े से हाई ब्रोड है तो हम समझते हैं ये तो हमारा स्टैंड है, वो भूल जाओ था ऐसी पिक्चर है. नहीं, उसने जब लाइट हार्ट फिल्में बनाई हैं वो इक्वली इम्पोर्टेंट है, एंड दैट टेल्स हिज रेंज. He was not a dry man. He was not just a philosopher and preacher and giving empowerment to so and so. No. At the same time, he could laugh. He could smile. He could make a light-hearted film. ये रेंज बहुत बड़ी बात है. ये बहुत कम लोगों में हम देखते हैं.
Thank you, Javed Saab. Thank you for that. Hansal Saab, I want to ask you, there is this, as a director, you can answer this question for us. What is the one thing that you look at his films and say, that was radical, and oh my God, he had guts?
I don't know. I mean, there's so much. Every time you watch his films, especially, I mean, Pyasa is like a lesson in filmmaking, that every time you watch it, there's something new that you take from the film. Whether it's the songs, whether it's the lighting. But there's something like, very enduring for me in Pyasa is the picturization of that song, Hum Aapki Aankhon Mein, is Dil Ko Basa Le Do. It's so beautiful. The waltz, the way it was picturized, both of them waltzing. अच्छा उसमें lyrics में भी खेल है, वो झूलता रहता है between the man and the woman. Duet का जो एक मज़ा है ना, वो आपको मतलब you enjoy. We don't have those duets anymore. कि जहाँ मतलब
बातचीत हो रही
है गाने में इतनी खूबसूरत, and वो मतलब डांस के थ्रू, he was such a lovely dancer, so beautiful to look at when he was dancing. So मतलब वो था angst, ही मतलब angst, एक anguish, एक दबी हुई आवाज़ थी जो मतलब कहीं ना कहीं साहिर साहब की पोएट्री के ज़रिए अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस करती थी. वो बहुत सारी चीज़ें थी उनकी फिल्मों में, लेकिन एक नज़ाकत भी थी इन सारी चीज़ों में ना. देयर वाज समथिंग वेरी डेलिकेट कि आपको हर चीज़ ना थप्पड़ मार के नहीं कहनी पड़ती. सॉरी अनुभव, थप्पड़ वर्ड के लिए. बट एवरीथिंग डज नॉट हैव टू बी अ स्लेज हैमर. एवरीथिंग डज नॉट हैव टू बी कि वो आप अपना एंग्स्ट, एंग्विश, दुख, प्यार, मोहब्बत, हर चीज़ मतलब एक नज़ाकत, एक सॉफ्टनेस, एक जेंटलनेस के साथ कह सकते हो. जो उनका मतलब उनकी आवाज़ भी थी, बड़ी जेंटल सी आवाज़ थी कि वो मतलब मुझे प्यासा में याद है महमूद को कहते हैं आप लोग सब जाहिल हो, तो बड़े मतलब सॉफ्टली कहते हैं बड़े जाहिल हो. तुमने जाहिल कहा, मतलब वो सीन मुझे बार बार याद है कि जाहिल ना गाली लगता नहीं है, मतलब लगता है कि जाहिल कह दिया मतलब कि उसको प्यार से कुछ कह रहा है. हाँ, इट डिडंट साउंड टॉक्सिक कि वो जहाँ हम टॉक्सिसिटी को सेलिब्रेट करते हैं ना, विथ हिम आप उसकी सारी फिल्में, वेदर इट्स जाल, मिस्टर एंड मिसेस 55, देयर इज अ जेंटलनेस. हर चीज़ को ना प्यार, वायलेंस, एंगर, सारी चीज़ें बहुत जेंटली कही जाती है. आपको ज़रूरी नहीं है हर चीज़ को अंडरलाइन करके, हर चीज़ को मैस्कुलिनिटी को मेल की तरह कहना और फेमिनिज्म को फीमेल की तरह करना. मतलब मेन आर इक्वली फेमिनिन एंड विमेन आर इक्वली मैस्कुलिन. वो मतलब वो ना एक जेंटलनेस के साथ आता है. एक सो आई थिंक दैट इज़ द बिग लेसन टू लर्न फ्रॉम फिल्म मेकर्स लाइक गुरु दत्त साहब.
How beautiful. Thank you so much, each of you, for giving us your time and thoughts. It means a lot. I know we want to watch the film. But I also know that there are a couple of people in the audience today that I do want to acknowledge. One of the constants of a figure that I used to look forward to in Gurudat Saab's films, Mr. Johnny Walker. His son Nasir is with us today, and it means so much. Thank you so much for joining us. So many friends dropping in. This is the culture, right? Ultimately, and this is what it's about. Anubhav sir, thank you so much for just dropping by. It means so much for all of us. There's Keshav sitting here. Vivek Vaswani sahab hai. ऐसे हमारे दोस्त हैं मीडिया से. And before we go ahead, I don't know, Rupesh is my boss here. क्या हमारे पास उतना वक्त है कि हमारे जो मीडिया के दोस्त हैं वो एक दो सवाल पूछ पाए इस पैनल से? Do we have even that much time? Okay, that will be great. Thank you so much. So, because we have to watch the film, guys, burning questions. If there are one or two, love to hear them. Yes, sir. I hope there's a mic with you. Okay, we'll just pass you one. Thank you. In the meantime, would you please give a round of applause for, once again, time and thoughts. Thank you, each of you. Thank you.
Hi, I'll just keep it very short. Javed Sahab, if you can answer this, or Balki sir, if you can. That Guru Dutt's films are so relevant even today is a thing of joy artistically, but a thing of sadness when you look at it from social perspective. कि उन्होंने जो असमताएं जो दिखाई थी, जो inequalities दिखाई थी, वो आज भी उतनी ही relevant है. It's a little bittersweet thing, don't you think?
देखिए, relevance दो तरह से होती है. Either by overwhelming presence or by shocking absence. Like rain is relevant in Cherrapunji and in Sahara. When you think of Guru Dutt, forget his stories, dialogue, scenes, try to capture him in few words, few adjectives. You will think decency, like he said, gentleness, understatement, humanity. If these words are relevant today because of their shocking absence, so Guru Dutt is relevant.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was a great question. Thank you so much. Can we have time for one more question, please? Our friends from the media, anybody would like to ask a question? Otherwise, we have to quickly get into our screening. And before that, our beautiful friend with the mic there, hi. I believe you have to, do a bit. Please take it over. Thank you.
Thank you to all our panelists for that enriching and heartfelt conversation. Your insights remind us why Guru Dutt Ji continues to inspire generations of filmmakers, artists, and cinephiles alike. Now, I'd like to invite on stage Mr. Rajat Agrawal, COO, Ultra Media and Entertainment, to felicitate our esteemed panelists. Mr. R. Balki. Thank you, sir. Mr. Hansal Mehta. Thank you, sir. I now request Mr. Sushil Kumar Agrawal, CEO, Ultra Media and Entertainment, to join us on stage. Mr. Sudhir Mishra, sir. Bhavna, ma'am. And now, with great honor, the legendary Javed Saab. We can now have the photo sessions. As we conclude this inspiring panel,
वायर नहीं जा रहा है, वायर छोटा है भाई पैर। हाँ निकला क्या, निकला क्या?
मुझे याद आता है कि मैंने जब ये पिक्चर देखी थी तो मैं तो स्कूल में था, ये 57 में। 57 का मतलब ये है कि आई वॉज 12 ईयर ओल्ड जब ये पिक्चर रिलीज हुई, लेकिन मुझे याद है। और उसके बाद मैंने कॉलेज में फिर दोबारा भी देखी और अब तो बहुत गहरा इम्प्रेशन है मुझे, बहुत अच्छी तरह याद है। और उस फिल्म से हुआ ये कि मेरा इम्प्रेशन ये था कि जब मैं फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में आऊँगा तो मैं जाके गुरुदत्त का असिस्टेंट बनूँगा और उनसे सीखूँगा डायरेक्शन। लेकिन हुआ ये कि मैं 4 तारीख को आया और 10 तारीख को उनकी डेथ हो गई, तो मैं तो उनसे कभी मिल भी नहीं पाया। क्या ले रहे हो तुम? इतने शोर में तुम मेरी बात ही नहीं सुन पा रहे होगे। आप लोग आपस में ही बात कर रहे हो, क्या है? हैं? आप जब खुद ही साइलेंट नहीं तो मुझे क्यों खड़ा किया है? हाँ बोलो। हाँ बोलिए, क्या है सवाल? क्या जरूरी है? क्या
न्यू जनरेशन नाउ गोइंग टू वॉच इट इन 4K ऐसा कुछ, तो उस पे आप क्या कहेंगे?
अच्छी बात है जो है, आप अपनी हिस्ट्री से, अपने पास से जो बड़े अचीवमेंट्स हुए हैं, जो बड़े काम हुए हैं, उनका अवेयरनेस आप में होना ही चाहिए। और फिर आप आगे भी देखें और पीछे का भी पता हो, बहुत ज़रूरी है। तो मुझे खुशी है कि यंगर जनरेशन जिसने नहीं देखी है पिक्चर, उसको मौका मिलेगा देखने का, और आई एम श्योर दैट दे लाइक इट वेरी मच। हो गया, आइए सुनिए।
नहीं भाई, एक ही बात है जो
आइए।
4K में हो और नए तरीके से लोग फिल्म देखें। अगर आपने गुरुदत्त नहीं देखा तो आपने हिंदुस्तानी सिनेमा देखा ही नहीं, फिर आप अधूरे हैं। देयर इज नोबडी लाइक हिम बिफोर आफ्टर। इट्स वंडरफुल, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर रिस्टोरिंग इट फॉर अस। अब इतना चिल्ला रहे हैं तो किसको समझेगा? आप अपने ही लोगों नहीं कंट्रोल करते तो मैं क्या करूं? हटा दो
मैं जा रही थी चलो ले लो
Hi ma'am, so how are you feeling about Pyasa and Gurudat's 100-year legacy?
I think this is fantastic and this is one of a kind and whosoever has missed it should not miss it again because this is a lifetime opportunity to watch and feel and to experience Guru Dutt because in this generation has not felt the emotions, the beauty of his films. So Pyasa says it all. Pyasa is a combination of everything because it has love, hate, betrayal, emotions, affection, a lot of drama, a lot of interesting cinematic marvel. So I think this movie should be watched by everyone. And today, the PVR has organized this. I'm very happy that we could actually go back to the history and come back again. It's like a time travel. So I'm enjoying every moment of it.
So as you said that this generation, this youth doesn't know more about Gurudat and Pyasa. So in your words, if you want to tell something to youth and this generation about Gurudat sir.
Gurudat sir, he was one actor who was very different from the tide, I must say, and he was very different from the trend. He actually redefined cinema in a different way, and his way of positioning a story was absolutely beautiful. The way he depicted love, I don't think anybody could do it. It was his forte, and the way he emoted, pathos and also the cravings for love. That was beautiful. I mean, he actually sort of drew beautiful images on screen, and but that time there was no technical jugglery, no VFX, nothing. It was black and white stuff, but it was so. It was so mindful, it was so soulful, and the beauty is that Gurudat ji always made films which were easy to understand. It was not very complex, but it had a very emotional, interesting, very emotional journey, and also a lot of depth. Everybody loved it.
ऐसी कौन सी फिल्म है गुरुदत्त साहब की जो सबसे ज़्यादा आपको पसंद आई?
मुझे उनकी जो 3 फिल्में बहुत पसंद है. एक तो डेफिनेटली प्यासा, वो गोज़ विदाउट सेइंग. उसके बाद शाहिद बीबी और गुलाम. एंड वन ऑफ माई मोस्ट फेवरेट इज़ कोरा कागज़, जो आई थिंक वाहिदा जी के साथ तो ही हैज़ लाइक अ मैजिकल पेयर.
एंड अगर आपको एक मैसेज देना हो यूथ को कि कैसे उन्हें याद किया जाए एक वर्ड में, कोई क्या वर्ड होगा?
यूथ को मैं ये बोलना चाहती हूँ कि इफ़ यू लव मूवीज़ एंड इफ़ यू लव टू sort of know more about the Indian history of films, I think Gurudat, you cannot take Gurudat out of that, because you have to experience Gurudat to know the depths of really love stories and real love stories, and love stories are not made with any gimmick, but pure love and affection.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.